Hey guys, Terrence here. Today I want to share with you guys some tips or some things that I've been doing probably for the last 10 years that's keep my vehicles running amazing. And since I'm about to change the oil on the Suburban, I'll share with you guys some things that I'm using, some tips, and a slight change that I made probably about 10 years ago. Let's jump right into the video. It's about 90 degrees out here. It's baking hot. I'm burning up. Every engine I've worked on, especially vehicles that's my vehicles, within the last 10 years, I made a slight change to my oil change, just a slight change. The slight change is, it's opposed to me waiting every 3 and sometimes 4,000 miles, depends on the engine oil I'm using. I cut that back to 2,000 to 2,500, 2,500 max. Right now I'm at 2,200 miles. I try to catch the 2,000 mark. I know that's kind of frequent, but I'll explain why that I've made this change about maybe 10 years ago, and I am getting extremely high miles. Right now, currently, this truck has about 230 something. Let's see real quick. Let's see. I want to be accurate with everything. It runs amazing though. 230. I'm guaranteed how I'm doing this now to get probably 400,000 miles before this engine needs an overhaul. And like I said, the frequent oil change and an additive, and I'll show you guys what additive I'm using, has been amazing to me. I started this video off by showing experience is the best teacher. I've been working on cars since I was a little boy, thanks to my big brother, and we've been using this particular additive with our oil changes. Lucas, let me take it out the plastic, guys. Let me show you. I just bought it. So whenever I buy this stuff, I buy it by the gallons because it's much cheaper to buy it by the gallons. But let me check this out. So I've been seeing this product in my family since, cause of my big brother, since I was 13, 14 years old. And we've been using this for a long time. And this stuff has been amazing. In every vehicle I've owned, I've used it. Every oil change. I only use a quart per oil change. The Suburban requires 6 quarts of oil. This is 5 quarts and plus one of those. Depends on how worn the engine is. If the engine is kind of barely worn and making noises, I may go with 2 quarts. Like I had an Avalanche that was ticking, 5.3 liter, had 287,000 miles on it. I just started using, I used 2 quarts of Lucas per oil change, and it's smoothing that engine out. This stuff is amazing. Like I said, I've used it since I was a little bitty boy working on cars. And when I got my first car when I was 15 years old, 16 years old, I started using Lucas every oil change. So kind of go way back with that. But the key to my great performing engines with any vehicle that I own, whether it's a newer engine or even the older engines I've worked on since I was a little boy, I'm using that Lucas. I'm using it frequent per oil change. And the key is frequent oil changes. Oil is very inexpensive. Even pulling up to a Jiffy Lube or a place that changes oil, it's an inexpensive repair per se to keep the engine running at its peak. So what I've been doing for the last 10 years, I've been changing my engine oil every 2,000 to 2,500 miles. It's rare that I get to 2,500 miles. Right now I'm at 2,200 miles. Engine runs amazing, no lights on. I'm trying to keep it that way. So I'll leave you guys with this perspective before I change the oil. Just think about the revolutions per minute, the RPMs on the car. The average car doing idle, 700 RPMs, some lower than that RPMs per minute, revolutions per minute, 700 RPMs per minute. Just think about that. There's 60 minutes in an hour. So you're figuring 700 times 60 minutes, 7 times 6, around 42,000 RPM sitting idle for just an hour. So imagine the daily routine of driving a vehicle when those internals are working non-stop throughout the day, or taking road trips. You're hitting into the millions of RPMs with these engines. And the most important thing with any engine, I don't care what mechanic you can talk to, is lubrication. It's lubrication. That's the key to keeping a great running engine. Lubrications, of course, the externals, the coils, the injectors, all the sensors on these engines, on these modern engines, are designed to keep the engine running at its peak performance, keep it running smooth, idling smooth. However, the internals, you want to keep those well lubricated, frequent oil changes. Come back to 2,500 miles per oil change, and you will see a significant difference in your engine performance. Even the miles per gallon increases just with a frequent oil change. A well lubricated engine will perform amazing. Just like the body, I keep my body in amazing conditions so I can work on vehicles at any kind of position I want to work without any ailments or anything bothering me, whether I want to get contour my body up to take a transmission out or anything. I keep my body in peak condition so I can do such. Or work on the engine, because if I'm not in the best shape, I can't keep the engine in the best shape. So I look at it the same way how I take care of myself. I take vitamins habitually, and there's no different for me keeping my body in peak condition. And I look at the engine as the same thing as the human body. You want to keep it running at its peak performance, and it starts off with a oil change. You want to keep the oil change as frequent as possible. It's 2,000 kind of a little bit extreme, because there are modern oils that get up to guarantees to 15,000. The mobile extended life guarantees, I think, to 15,000 miles, but I would never go that long before an oil change. Going through all these revolutions per minute, you want to keep the oil change as frequent as possible. So my thing has been for the last 10 years, 2,000 to 2,500. I'm at 2,200 right now. I'm about to change the oil right now, and this is what I'm using. I just do a frequent oil change, filter change, and add a quarter of this Lucas, which is amazing. I'm not getting endorsed by them. I'm getting sponsored by them. I just love this product. I've been seeing this product since I was a little bitty boy in our household, and it's been amazing. All the hundreds of cars that I've worked on or owned, I've used this stuff. So, gonna change the oil. Just want to share that with you guys. I think that's very important. Us mechanics share this kind of information. Of course, it may be all over the internet. I just know from experience. I know what I've done from experience in my brain, what I've experienced, what I've used, and what works for me and what does not work for me. The only thing wrong with this vehicle right now that I have to deal with, I got a leaking radiator hose. The bottom radiator hose is, the clamp has worn on it. So I'm leaking antifreeze slowly. I'm down here, this clamp is worn. I try to shift it and move it. So I got to replace that clamp because I'm leaking antifreeze. I got to fill this thing up with antifreeze every 3 weeks, and I don't want to damage my engine. So I'm going to replace that hose right now, that hose clamp. But just want to share that with you guys. About to change this oil and keep my engine running peak. So every vehicle on frequent oil changes, whether it's the trucks or any vehicle on frequent oil changes, guys. So just something to consider. You have to make that change, but I will leave off with this. Oil is the most vital or critical part in any gasoline engine. The exception is an electric engine, but these gasoline engines, you want to keep these engines well oiled. So make sure you change it, or whether it's you dropping back to change it frequently at 2,000, 2,500 miles, or just keeping that same 3,000 miles plus oil change or interval. Please, it's very important, guys. It's critical. It's the most critical component, the most vital component. I'm not going to stress it enough. It's the most vital component with any engine. Change that oil frequently. You'll get a lot of life out of that engine. But how I'm doing it right now, I'm guaranteed possibly to get 400,000 miles out of this engine before an engine overhaul. And I'm going to keep it just that long so I can have it on the channel to show you guys, whether it be 2 years from now. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to use this as an example. I'm going to show you guys without any engine overhaul, I'm going to get well over 400,000 miles on this thing. I don't care if I buy a brand new car a brand new truck, I'm gonna keep this just for the experiment, to show you guys how I'm gonna push it up to get these miles, to get the maximum miles out of this with changing this oil as frequently as I've been changing it. So hope you guys found this video helpful. Didn't want to make it long and drawn out. I was going to get on the vehicle and show you guys me changing the oil. I don't think that's unnecessary, but just want to share that with you guys, and some things that I've used throughout the years through experience. I can't put emphasis on that enough. Experience. Remember, it's the best teacher, period. All right, guys. Once again, I hope you found this video helpful. Terrence, and I'm out. Rain came out of nowhere on me. It started raining on me. It started raining on me. Oh my goodness. It started raining on me.